If you have ever looked into the eyes of a dog, you have stared into a bond that stretches back longer than any other partnership between humans and animals. Dogs are not just pets, they are our oldest companions, our hunting partners, our protectors, and our most loyal friends. Today, we are going to uncover one of the greatest mysteries of natural history, exactly how dogs were domesticated by humans, and when the very first domestic dogs appeared on Earth. This is a story of survival, trust, and shared evolution that shaped both our species forever. Long before humans raised cows, sheep, or chickens, long before we planted the first crops or built permanent villages, we formed a life-changing relationship with wolves. Most people think domestication was a plan. Humans caught wolf pups, raised them, and slowly turned them into dogs. But the real story is far more surprising and far more natural. It was not a one-sided project led by humans. It was a mutual choice made over thousands of years by two species that learned to survive and thrive together. Let us start with the most important question. When did the first domestic dogs appear? For decades, scientists argued over dates and fossils. Some said 10,000 years ago. Others guessed closer to 15,000. But breakthroughs in ancient DNA and archaeology over the past few years have rewritten the timeline. The latest research, published in Nature in 2026, reveals that fully domestic dogs lived across Western Eurasia at least 14,300 years ago, and some remains from what is now Tvrk date back roughly 15,800 years. These are not just wolf-like animals. They are genetically confirmed dogs, living alongside Ice Age hunter-gatherers, long before agriculture began. Even older signs of wolf-dog interaction come from sites in Siberia and Belgium, where remains dating back 23,000 to 36,000 years show early signs of animals changing in response to human presence. So we can say, with confidence, dogs began their journey toward domestication during the last Ice Age, between 20,000 and 40,000 years ago, and fully domestic dogs existed at least 15,000 years ago. Now, how did this transformation happen? Let us picture the world at that time. Humans were nomadic hunter-gatherers moving across cold grassy plains in search of food. Wolves were their wild neighbors, powerful social and intelligent hunters. At first, the two species likely competed for the same prey. But something shifted. Some wolves were less afraid of human camps. These calmer, less aggressive animals discovered a new food source: scraps left by humans. Bones, meat, and leftovers that humans did not need became a reliable meal for these bold wolves. This is where natural selection took over. Wolves that were too nervous or aggressive stayed away from humans and struggled to find extra food. Wolves that were calm, curious, and tolerant thrived. They grew healthier, had more pups, and passed on those gentle traits. Over generations, these wolves became physically smaller, with shorter snouts, smaller teeth, and more flexible ears. Their brains changed too. They became more sensitive to human gestures and voices. This process is called self-domestication. Humans did not have to trap or train them. The wolves chose to move closer, and the friendliest ones won the evolutionary race. As time passed, this relationship became more useful for both sides. Wolves turned dogs, helped humans hunt faster, farther, and more safely. Their amazing sense of smell and hearing let them detect prey or danger long before humans could. In return, humans provided steady food, shelter from harsh weather, and protection from larger predators. It was a perfect partnership. Humans gained a superpowered hunting ally, and dogs gained a secure, stable life. Archaeologists have found amazing evidence of this early bond. In Germany, a 14,000-year-old dog, Jawbone, shows clear signs of domestication. In the United Kingdom, the 14,300-year-old remains from Gough's Cave are among the oldest genetically confirmed dogs in the world. In Tvrk, the P. narba site holds dog remains from 15,800 years ago, along with signs that dogs were buried and cared for, not just treated as wild animals. In East Asia, especially in China, the earliest confirmed domestic dog remains come from the Nanzhuang site in Hebei province, about 10,000 years old. These fossils prove that dogs lived alongside humans across many continents early in our shared history. Genetic science has added even more clarity. Modern dogs all descend from an ancient group of gray wolves that no longer exists. Studies of ancient dog genomes show that dogs split into Eastern and Western Eurasian groups more than 17,000 years ago, meaning domestication began well before that. Recent research from the Chinese Academy of Sciences also shows that dogs and humans migrated together across continents for thousands of years, sharing paths, settlements, and even parts of their evolutionary journey. This is not just a story of animals changing for people. It is a story of two species evolving side by side. You might wonder, why wolves? Why not other wild animals? Wolves have a social structure very similar to humans. They live in family groups, follow leaders, cooperate to hunt and care for their young. This made it easy for them to understand human groups and fit into our lives. Other animals, like deer or cats, are more independent or less social. Wolves were ready-made partners. Their intelligence, loyalty, and ability to work in teams made them the perfect first animal to enter human life. As domestication continued, dogs began to show more and more traits we recognize today. Floppy ears, curly tails, softer fur, and a wide range of sizes appeared. Early humans did not set out to create different breeds, but they favored dogs that were better at specific jobs. Faster dogs for chasing prey, stronger dogs for pulling loads, smaller dogs for guarding camps. Slowly, this led to the huge variety of dogs we see now, from Chihuahuas to Great Danes. But no matter how different they look, every modern dog carries the genes of those ancient Ice Age wolves that first chose to walk beside humans. The impact of dog domestication on human history cannot be overstated. Before dogs, humans were limited in how far they could travel and how safely they could hunt. With dogs, we expanded into new lands, hunted more efficiently, and built more secure communities. Dogs helped us survive harsh environments, from frozen Arctic lands to dry grasslands. They became part of our cultures, our stories, and even our spiritual beliefs. Many ancient cultures buried dogs with humans, showing they were seen as family members, not just tools. Today, that bond remains as strong as ever. Dogs still help us hunt, herd, and guard. They assist people with disabilities, search for survivors in disasters, and provide emotional support. Science even shows that interacting with dogs lowers stress and makes people happier. This connection is written in our DNA and in thousands of years of shared history. Let us summarize what we have learned. Dogs were not created by accident or by force. They began as wolves that chose to live near human camps, surviving on leftover food, and evolving to be calmer and more tolerant. The earliest confirmed domestic dogs lived at least 15,800 years ago in Western Eurasia, and signs of early wolf-dog relationships go back as far as 40,000 years. Domestication was a natural, mutual process that benefited both species. Dogs became the first animals to join human society, opening the door for all other domestic animals that came later. Every time you play fetch, take a walk, or cuddle with a dog, you are taking part in a tradition that began in the Ice Age. You are continuing a bond that helped humans survive and thrive, and turned wild wolves into the most beloved animals on Earth. This story is not just about animals. It is about how trust and partnership can change the course of nature. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.